Okay, so the next motif or the next structure which we need to study is the helix loop helix. How the helix loop helix is being designed and what are the different features related to the helix loop helix that we will see. So firstly, this helix loop helix is nothing but totally similar to that of your leucine zipper. Okay, but the difference here is that the leucine zipper is showcasing, like it is not at all showcasing any sort of the looping or any sort of the turns in this entire structure. It is just an image like a scissor is placed. It is going to interact with its tip or its edge with the complete major groove, and then later on carrying out the complete processing, whatever the functioning it is going to happen and whatever the functioning they want to carry it out. But here in this case, this helix loop helix or the basic helix loop helix is showcasing a loop in their complete structure. So here what is actually going to happen and what are the features here which is present here actually, these are that two helices are there. Okay, two sort of the sequences are there, and these sequences are showcasing the properties of having a helix, that is alpha helix, a loop in its structure, and then again a alpha helix. And another sequence is also having a helix, a loop, and then another alpha helix. But here the thing for consideration and here the important thing is that all like these two structures, one of the structure is having a little more, like it is having a much more higher size, or we could not actually higher size, it is somewhat larger than the other structure, and the second sequences is somewhat having a smaller size as compared to the other one. Okay, so these size differentiation, or there is like the complete differentiation in the size, is because they want to fold properly. They wants to have a proper flexibility in this complete structure. They wants to dimerize this complete folding and all these packagings and everything with all together, and then carrying out this complete foldings and packagings, and then performing their ability to interact with the specific DNA molecule. To carry out all these things, they are like they have been come up with the two sort of like changes in their complete structure. Like the one is in a larger size and the another one is slightly smaller. Now the difference is not that much huge, but it is a slight difference in both the sequences. Okay, not they are not exactly similar to each other. There is a slight difference in between them. Now in the complete structure or the sequence again, these this complete structure which is having a little larger size as compared to the other is having the ability to perform the attachment with that of the DNA sequence. So this is the portion which is going to bind with the DNA, not the not the other region or the other sequence. The other region or the other sequence is presence because it is going to be carrying out the properties of attachment, folding, and for the proper flexibility of this entire structure. So here again example of this is this sea mice. There are a lot of different examples which are there. You could just read these out for your examination sort of this or examination point of view. For you remember for you to remember and everything, you can just use this example of sea mice. But there are again a lot of different examples of this complete structure as well. So here this complete structure is showcasing the ability or property to interact with a proper sequence at a proper position, like the way the leucine zipper is interacting with the DNA at a proper position or sequence. Now the region or the sequence or the consensus in a proper sense here is the E-box. Sorry. So here the region or the sequence where this complete basic helix loop helix is going to attach with the DNA molecule or interact with the positioning in the DNA is the E-box region or the E-box sequence. Now it is being indicated by the CAC-GTG sequence. Okay, so whenever this sequence is being repeated in case of the DNA, at that position, the VHLH is having the highest ability to interact with the DNA molecule or showcasing the ability to interact with the DNA molecule. So that is also a very important thing related to these helix loop helix. Now if you could see clearly, this is the DNA molecule or this is the structure of the DNA. Okay, DNA is there. Now these two structures or these two crisscrossed structures are nothing but the helix loop helix. So this is how the complete structures of the helix loop helix or the leucine zipper itself is going to be interact with the DNA molecule. This is known as a scissor grip. Okay, this is like a scissor is being placed in a standing position, or it is being like not in a lying position, it is being placed in a standing position on a sequence. Okay, so this is how the helix loop helix and the leucine zippers are getting interacted or attached with a DNA molecule or the major groove region of the DNA. So similarly, the leucine zipper is also going to interact here in this case, and also this helix loop helix. Now the helix loop helix structure, that is the large structure as compared to the other. Now the structure which is having a larger helix in the complete sense is having the property or ability to interact with this complete DNA molecule and showcasing the properties of interacting with the consensus sequence CAC GTG. Okay, and the other region is for the proper folding and attachment and all of that. So here this complete structure is attaching with the DNA molecule, having the complete and here again the interaction with the DNA is going to be happen at the major groove only. The complete interaction with the helix loop helix and the DNA is going to be happen at the major groove position only. So that's also a very important thing for you people to remember, that the interactions and everything which are going to be happen in case of this helix loop helix are again happening with the major groove region only. So here two helices which are separated by the loops. Now here you could see clearly that one loop is slightly larger in size than the other loop, though so here the loop which is having a larger size is having the ability to interact or showcasing the ability of forming the DNA binding domain. The other loop is also helping it out in the DNA binding domain or interaction, but it is more in a proper sense carrying out the functioning like a flexibility region or performing the complete packaging in this complete sense or the structure. So this is all about the helix loop helix. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the last structure or the last region which is going to be present in case of the DNA binding domain or the DNA protein interaction is the homeodomain or the homeodomain motif. So basically what is going to happen in this homeodomain or this thing is just that there are regions or the sequences in the DNA which is showcasing the presence of homeotic gene. Okay, so this is the DNA. This DNA is having a homeotic gene. Now this is first time we could say like discovered or performed or happened in case of the Drosophila. Okay, so this is a homeotic gene or homeobox gene which is present in the Drosophila. So from that it is like showcase the complete ability and properties to perform its functions and all. That's why the name homeodomain is being given to this sequence, because it is like firstly identified in the Drosophila homeotic genes which are present in case of Drosophila. That's why its name is given to them like homeodomain sequence or region. Okay, so in the DNA here in this case, homeotic genes are there, and in these homeotic genes, these are actually encoded with the help of a protein. And that protein is nothing but a transcription factor, which is facing or having the ability to switch on other genes. Like it is having the property to switch on the other genes which are there, the other genes which are completely present in this entire system and carrying out the functioning or the processing in the complete system of activation and expressions. So here the homeotic gene is present. Okay, in the DNA sequence a homeotic gene is there, the transcriptional activation domain is there, and in this homeotic gene a region which is there and a region or a sequence within this homeotic genes that is totally composed of 180 base pair region. That complete sequence is called as homeobox. Okay, in the DNA homeotic gene is there having the domains, various different types of activation domains working as a transcription factor. Proteins are there, homeotic proteins are there, and in this complete homeotic gene there is a presence of a region, a sequence that is called as homeobox. Okay, and this homeobox is having the size 180 base pairs. In these 180 base pair, it is going to be code for total 60 amino acid. This complete sequence, which is having 180 base pair like complete size, it is having the ability to code for 60 amino acids. And all these 60 amino acids will be later on going to be helping out in performing the ability as a homeodomain region. So this is the DNA. Okay, this is the in the red one, it is indicated with the DNA, and this is the complete transcriptional activation domain. And this is how the regions or the sequences or the three important regions in case of the homeodomain are going to interact with the DNA binding domain, or going to interact with the DNA with its total three domains of the homeodomain actually. So this is how the homeodomain going to interact with the DNA binding region or the DNA with the complete properties and interaction ability. So this is how the complete homeotic protein is getting interacted or attached with that of the DNA sequences. Okay, so this is the image of the homeodomain. Okay, so here this homeodomain is totally divided into three regions or three parts for your consideration. The one is having the N-terminal, and also it is showcasing the ability to have a C-terminal regions as well. Now entirely it is composed of total 60 amino acid residues, and all these 60 amino acid residues are performing the functions or are having the ability to carry out like the DNA binding domains function and to act as a DNA binding domain of various different types of transcription factors. As we have seen that these homeotic proteins are having the ability to perform their activities as the transcription factors. The homeodomain, the regions in the homeodomain or the sequences in the homeodomain are again also showcasing the ability to perform their functions as a transcription factor and having the ability to face its activities with like a DNA binding domain. So it is totally composed of three helices, and here in this case the helix number 2 and the helix number 3 will going to form a helix turn helix. Okay, like the helix turn helix region which we have seen in the starting point of the lecture, it is going to form a structure like a helix turn helix, and in that manner like in that helix turn helix manner, it will be going to interact with the complete DNA binding proteins. Like it will be going to interact with the DNA in a manner like a helix turn helix. So all these homeodomains will be going to containing, like it will be going to have the DNA binding motifs or the DNA binding domains, and these DNA binding domains or motifs or regions will be going to function as a helix turn helix region, and these will be going to interact with the DNA at the major groove only. And the region or the portion which is present here, that is the N-terminal, is having the ability to attach or to interact with the minor groove positioning. So this is how the helix turn helix and this homeodomain region is related with each other, having the genes which are specific from the Drosophila. That's why its name is indicating like a homeodomain region or homeodomain receptor. And the rest of the things which are completely present in this entire sequence are just the presence. This is the DNA. Okay, this is the DNA, and these three regions are entirely composed or altogether called as homeodomain, which are having total 3 alpha helices. Okay, and in this, the helix number 3, okay, the third helix which is here is going to interact with the major groove. Okay, the major groove of the DNA, the helix number 3, total 3 helices are there. Okay, in these total 3 helices, the helix number 3, the third helix, is going to interact with the major groove of DNA, and the helices first and the second are going to be attached with the DNA molecule or are going to interact with a specific DNA sequence or the region in a particular DNA molecule. So this is how they will be showcasing the ability or property to interact with an entire DNA sequence or the entire DNA structure. And also the N-terminal which is present, this complete structure as we have seen in this image, the N-terminal is having this N-terminal. Okay, This N-terminal is having the ability to interact with the minor groove. So here in this case, the homeodomain is showcasing the ability to interact with both the major groove and the minor groove as well for a proper contact, or also like having the ability to perform some sort of another contacts with the major groove and the minor groove region of the DNA. Apart from that, the rest of the sequences which we have seen are majorly interacting with the complete major groove sequences only. The exceptions are the other thing, but the rest of the sequences are showcasing the ability to interact with the major groove of DNA. But here in this case, the homeodomain is showcasing the ability in the actual structure or the general structure only, showcasing the ability to interact with both the major groove as well as the minor groove of the DNA. And here in this case, the region or the position which is actually interacting with the major groove is the helix number 3. The two sequences will be above that helix, completely totally above the helix, and the N terminal which is there, like the on the first position the N terminal is there. Okay. So this was the helix number 1. Here the N-terminal is going to present, and this N-terminal edge region will be going to interact with or showcasing the ability to interact with the minor groove of the DNA. So this is how the complete homeodomain is packaged with the help of the or we could say is like the homeodomain is completely interacted with a DNA molecule or a DNA sequence. So this is how the complete structure of the homeodomain is being placed. Important thing for consideration is it is like discovered firstly in the Drosophila because of showcasing the ability of having these homeotic genes. Homeobox region is there. In the homeobox region, 180 base pair amino acids, 180 base pair sequences are there. Total 60 amino acids are present, and having the ability of its 3 structure to interact with the complete DNA sequence and showcasing the ability to totally interact with the major group as well as the minor group of the DNA. So this is all about the homeodomain and the complete interactions which are going to be happen in case of DNA protein interactions. So these are all the interactions which we have seen in today's lecture. So is that clear to all of you? The homeodomain and the rest of the interactions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.